That old game of spending millions of dollars to reach many people at once with a non-specific message is changing. The fact is, on social media, you can reach every single individual in public, one at a time, and with greater efficacy.
As the individuals become more powerful, we expect more services to be concentrated and focused around us as individuals. Now that's a fundamental change to marketing, because in fact, despite the rhetoric of marketing, marketing has really been about massification of individuals. So in other words, it's about big segmentations followed by broadcast. Today it's going to be about talking to the individual, having a relationship with the individual, and it has to look like it's an individual relationship, not just something that's mass that's been tailored for them.
One of the biggest days in every advertiser's life is when the Super Bowl comes on. At the halftime show, you get to see all these different ads that people sunk millions of dollars into. The reason that's so attractive to a marketing person is it reaches millions and millions of people all at once. That's massive, but it's not personal. I know that that Doritos ad wasn't for me. I know that that Toyota ad wasn't for me. But on social media, you can get down to the single individual and talk directly to an individual in public.
You're trying to emulate the corner shop. You're trying to emulate the fact that you know what people want. You've got it ready for them when they get there. You know when there's a special offer, when you've got something that they may be interested in. You know that because you know those customers. So we want to give them the technology that really gives them that ability to get that intricate detail and put that in their hands. So it is possible to get very low level. And because of the speed, because of the ability to get to the understanding very quickly, you can really do that for very small groups of customers. So let me think of an example of that. So if you think about a newsletter that you might send out as an organisation every week, well, that newsletter's probably got space for 4 or 5 things you could talk about. Now, right now, a marketer using their skill and judgment will try and choose the 5 things they think are most relevant at this particular point. But how about that newsletter use the information about what you've been browsing on the website last week and your product history in order to give you exactly the information that you might be interested in? Now that's going to be a much more effective communication. Maybe you'd bother reading that newsletter more than once a quarter if every time it came out it kind of had things that were relevant to you. That's what we're trying to do with mass individualization.
One of the areas that I think marketing is really struggling to come to terms with is actually how social media work. They have tended to emphasise clustering around an event or a content or something like that, but they don't really know what lies at the heart of this. Now, what our research has shown us is that what people are really looking for is the presence of similar others. They're kind of saying to themselves, can I see similar others present here or using this? Now, similar others goes beyond just the product or event. It requires you to know a little more about an individual than you might just know to be at the event or to buy the product or something like that. So again, it influences the kinds of information that we've got to look at collecting and using in the future. We're likely to see companies that are built around providing very broad services to people that are all about being very, very close to the individual. Very exciting set of possibilities. For those companies that aren't involved in these kinds of dialogues and engagement, we may well find it very difficult to get heard, because as the proliferation of noise increases, and there's little evidence that it's going to decrease, we are very likely to come up with more complex and intelligent strategies for managing out the unwanted or the unwarranted noise. So therefore, the importance of an early relationship and building on that relationship grows even more. So it's likely we're going to see some companies massively successful, and I'm afraid we will see some companies fall by the wayside.